Hi everybody, thank you to those who are joining us live and for people that are watching this video separately, welcome to you guys as well. In today's session, I am going to be covering all of our services and products specifically for state schools. Now, when I've done this in previous years, I've done the SEND schools, the state schools and the independent schools all together, but now we have varying products depending on the type of school that you work in, and therefore it makes sense for me to introduce them individually. So for those of you who know the Careers People or know of the work that we do, you will know that the whole reason our business exists is to support young people to create a successful future for themselves. Now, alongside that, we also work to make careers professionals' lives easier. And that is through saving people time, bringing people together, and just making sure our industry has a level of togetherness that unfortunately just doesn't seem to happen because we're also individual in our settings and usually the only person in the school that looks after careers, and it can get quite lonely. So alongside helping the students, we also help to bring careers people together to help and support one another. So my name is Jessica Pieri. I'm the founder of the Careers People, but I'm also a careers advisor. So as you can probably notice, I'm in a school today. I still work actively in schools and absolutely love being a careers advisor. Can't see myself ever stopping that element of the job. I'm based in West London, so cover a couple of mainstream schools around here and also a pupil referral unit, so a few different settings. And above anything else, I just love helping young people. So the most of what I do is guidance, but I also get involved in some workshops, sort of CV workshops, confidence building, whatever the school needs. As long as I feel comfortable and confident in delivering that, then I'm always happy to help. So here is our team as it stands right now, and it's absolutely incredible.
Ja, ich muss noch mein Handy aufladen. Ich habe jetzt mal gerade eine Stunde einen Call.
Oh, I think that was Welsh. When I put this slide together, it was incredible to me because this time last year, it was just 4 of us. And now there's loads of us. So the whole top line that you see there are our advisors, plus myself, but I couldn't fit on both lines. So that's our advisors across the top. And then on the bottom line, you've got myself, Lauren, who's our business manager. Leanne looks after our training and leads on supervision for us. So all of our advisors have supervision. And then Nicola is new to the team and she leads on our independent schools. So helping us to make sure our products translate and make sense in that world the same way that they do and have done for several years in the state school world. Firstly, we have our careers guidance services. So as you saw on our team slide, we've got lots of advisors out in different regions, mainly along the M4 corridor. So from Bath to Bristol, all the way up to London and then surrounding areas. So Surrey, Essex, Kent, and I guess the regions further up into like Hertfordshire, Buckinghamshire, etc. So they don't necessarily have to touch the M4, but they all sort of neighbour each other. We do have a few advisors in other locations as well, so it's always worth getting in touch with us to see if we have someone who covers your area. And as our team, all of our advisors are obviously level 6 qualified, DBS checked professionals, and we allow them to use their own professional judgment to use whatever tools and techniques they feel is best for the young person they're working with. So if you were to poke your head in a few times throughout the day into our careers offices, you will see very different techniques being used with each young person. One of them might be quite a traditional meeting where we're looking at websites, Q&A, that type of thing. But sometimes we might have the whiteboard out, we might be doing a mind map, sometimes we might have Lego out. It can really be very different depending on what is going to be the most impactful activity for that young person. All of our meetings align with our company values, which are they spouse SOL, of course, I had to get an acronym in there. So they are student-led. So everything is focused around the young person. Originality is really important, and with everything we do and all the products that we create, they're all original. We're not creating something that already exists because what's the point? Unity is hugely important. So togetherness of us as a team, as us as a wider industry, but also in the schools that we're working with, really embedding ourselves and being united within their careers program and helping out in any way we can to save time. And that can be things like all of our advisors will go to the students' classrooms to pick them up if we need to, if they don't arrive to their meetings. We will upload action plans to Unifrog or to emails or to wherever they need to go. So we're not trying to duplicate work or create work for the internal careers team. We are, the next one, moving with love and just ensuring that what we do with students, with the teams that we work with and with each other within our industry, it's all about how we connect and doing something that we truly, truly love. And that's the one thing you'll find about all of our advisors, hugely passionate and we all love what we do. Okay, so moving on to the products that we offer. The first thing and the most popular thing is our school branded newsletter. So we all get loads and loads and loads of emails from companies, employers, and universities, and trying to find a way to share them with students in a way that they would interact with was a massive challenge for a lot of the schools that we worked in. So that's when we created the Careers newsletter, and it's basically a collation of information and opportunities from employers, universities, and educational organisations across the UK. As well as all those opportunities, it also includes a weekly job of the week, labour market fact of the week, employer spotlight, and uni spotlight. So we're just aiming to share opportunities with the students, but also expand their horizons into different unis, different employers, different information that they may not have come across before. So the cost of the newsletter is £200 per academic year, and all these costs are exclusive of VAT. So £200 plus VAT, so £240 in total. Now that actually equates to £5.12 per week, which is less than the time that it would take an administrator to make a newsletter, because as we know, it can take hours. I know because I make this every week. So it is a really cost-effective product. So what's important to note is that no one can pay to be in the newsletter. I vet every single opportunity, and it only gets put in there if it's high quality and we know it's going to be impactful, professionally led, all those sorts of things. I'd never want it to be a newsletter that people can pay to be in, because I think then it loses value, it loses quality, and you end up putting opportunities in just because the customer is paid rather than because it's really viable for the young person. And that's not what we're about as an organisation. So this product has won 2 awards now. It won the Most Helpful Careers Tool at the 2024 Careers and Careers Festival, and then it won the Innovative Product just a few weeks ago at the 2025 CDI Awards. Now it won that award this year, particularly for a feature where we give the newsletter to AI, and AI turns it into a podcast. So at the top of every newsletter, there's a little button that says, listen to this newsletter. And students, parents, carers can click that button and they can listen, and it will pull out all of the key features on that newsletter for them. Then they can obviously refer back to the newsletter to click through and apply to anything they're interested in. So it just makes the newsletter more accessible for auditory learners, EAL learners, and SEND learners as well, but obviously just those that would prefer to listen. Gives people another option. So this is what one of the newsletters looks like. So just to give you an example, it's completely branded as the school. So the school has sent us the logo at the top here, and then they sent us the email address, which I've obviously covered for data purposes, to go on the bottom. But we then take the colours from the logo and amend it. When we first send you your first edition, you get to choose if it's okay. You can make changes if you want to change fonts, colours, anything like that, then we're able to do that, and we can work with marketing teams if you have sort of brand guidelines and things that have to be worked towards. This just shows you all of the different branding, all the different schools. So as you can see, everyone looks very different. All the opportunities and things are the same, but they look different. Now, when you receive this newsletter each week, it is a link to a Canva document that you can edit. So if you want to change opportunities, add an extra page that has internal news or internal opportunities, you can absolutely do that. It's completely editable. And then when you're ready, you click File, download it as a PDF, and then you can send it out to stakeholders that you wish to read it. Here is an example of the SEND one. So we offer this as a standalone product, which again is £200 plus VAT. Or if you already have the mainstream one and you would like the SEND one specifically for your SEND learners, it's an extra £180. So you get a bit of money off if you're taking both of the newsletters. And I'm quite proud to say that quite a number of our schools do have both of them. So it's really nice to see that they're really going for benchmark 3, meeting the needs of each pupil, and ensuring that their SEND learners get a specialist newsletter that's just laid out in a bit more of a student-friendly way, with something to do, something to listen to. It's just a bit more accessible for students that do have an additional diagnosis or an additional need if it is undiagnosed. Okay, so the next product to share with you is our Apprenticeship Academy, another topic that's really close to my heart. I've done 2 apprenticeships myself, and I love helping young people get into apprenticeships. It's getting harder and harder each year, as we all know. They're getting more and more competitive. And what I found in a lot of the sixth forms that I worked in is that they had great UCAS provision. They were fabulous at doing UCAS, but the support for their apprenticeship seekers was not as good. And so that's where the Apprenticeship Academy was born. So we now have a way for every school with a sixth form or without a sixth form to be able to refer their students to a 6-week virtual programme It takes place on Zoom on a Wednesday evening, where they will learn about everything they need to know to find, apply for, and interview for apprenticeship opportunities. The programme happens 3 times per year, once in September, once in February, and once in June. So there's no time that a young person should come to you and there is not an upcoming programme. So they should always have the option to be referred to the next programme. Now, it says on here about different programmes throughout the year being for different year groups, but to be honest with you, we leave it up to the school's judgment. So even though on here it says June welcomes the year 10 and year 12, if you've got year 12s that are ready to have this information in September or February, then absolutely put them on the programme. You do what's best for your young people. You, of course, know them far better than I and we do as a team here. So this is £150 plus VAT per academic year, and you can refer as many young people as you want. You can put your whole year 12 on this if you want to, or your whole year 11, your whole year 10, however you want to do it. Now, some schools run this as an after school club. So they keep the students in the building and they run it sort of in a computer room. And some, actually most schools allow their students to access it independently. It's whatever's going to work best for you. Here's a review. We've got loads of reviews on our Trustpilot now, so I'll send the slides for this, and when you click read more, you will be able to see our Trustpilot reviews. There's also a strip on the website that says read our Trustpilot reviews, and you can click that one to read what all of the participants and people that have taken part have said. Okay, the next thing is our tutor time programme. So the next challenge we came across, as we know, there's lots of challenges in schools, in careers, and across the delivery of everything, to be honest. But for us, we found that a lot of companies provide tutor time resources. But when I say resources, I mean workshops and presentations. And they're fine if you have tutors that are confident, willing, and able to deliver those sessions. But what schools were finding is either they weren't being delivered, or they weren't being delivered with passion and love and to the quality that the careers leader wanted. And so what we made was a Tutor Time Careers programme that is completely video led. So I have recorded 80 something videos of me delivering the presentations, and all your tutor has to do is press play. Now, the whole tutor programme runs within a booklet that students can access as a printed booklet or a digital booklet. So they keep all of their notes in one place. So we currently have this for year 10 and year 12. A few schools have said, are you going to make them for the other year groups? If the demand is there, I will, but it takes a lot of time to make the presentations and then record them all. So I would have to have enough interest for that to be viable. So if you would be interested in other year groups, let me know and I can add you to the waiting list for those. We have a lot of guest speakers throughout the programme. So employers come on and talk, university guest speakers come on and talk. So if there was a topic where I felt like somebody else would be able to speak more informed on that particular topic, then I've got them on to cover that. So literally your tutors log into the Padlet, press play and just let it play and just manage behaviour in the classroom, and that's it. It's mapped against the CDI framework and the Gatsby benchmark. Now the cost for this is £310 per year group. So it works out about £10 a week. So it's obviously a lot more cost effective than having a careers professional come in and deliver it for you for a tutor's time each week. And it's £700 for both year groups. Now, every year I go in and I re-record the sessions that need to be recorded. So things like student finance, I update that in line with the thresholds. National Apprenticeship Week, National Careers Week always gets updated with the change in themes. So I go through them all, and anything needs amending always gets recorded over the summer, so that you know when you go in the new academic year, every single thing you press play on will be the most up-to-date information. It's not going to be anything out of date or, thresholds from 3 years ago or anything like that. Okay, the last two things are actually physical products. So one of them is our I Don't Know Careers card game, which we've sold like 300 and something packs of now, which blows my mind and is really cool. It can be played as a conversation starter in a careers one-to-one, but it can also be in peer partnerships or as an interactive class activity. There's basically a series of 45 different questions on cards, and the only rule is that the students cannot answer with I don't know. So it forces them to dig a bit deeper and try and find answers to those questions. And then what happens is if they do say, I don't know, they then have to take that card. And then at the end of the session, the person with the most cards doesn't win. I don't want to say loses, but doesn't win. And that's how they play it peer to peer. And to be honest with you, as a conversation starter, it's just a case of going through the questions with the students and just challenging them to think of their answers and be really, what's the correct word? I guess be really mindful and conscious of the answers that they're saying. It really helps them to think about it when you put it in a game style. So that's £25 and is available to order on the website. Here's a picture of them, and here's a couple of questions. So name one skill an employer is looking for. If you could remove one lesson from your timetable, what would it be and why? And describe a time you were proud of yourself. And then obviously there's lots of different ones included as well. This is brand new, so hot off the press for September. We have another careers card game. It's called Get to Know. And this has been designed to help aid careers advisors with the contracting stage of their one-to-ones. So what we want to do is we want to get to know that person using a gamified method where it is interactive, it is hands-on, and we're giving them sets of cards that they either have to prioritize or they have to put out the cards that are relevant to them. So for example, some of the cards say things like, I have care experience, or I'm a refugee, or I speak another language, and they put out the cards that are relevant to them. And then others are skills-based cards where they put them in order of how they would rank their skills. They're conversation starters, they help you get to know the young person and sort of puts them in control of what they want to get from the session. So this bullet point list here shows you the different cards that are within the pack. So they're all in one pack. It's just one cost, £25 for the whole pack. So you have priorities for year 8 and 9, priorities for 10 and 11, priorities for 12 and 13. Their motivators, their skills, their life experiences, and their career experiences. Then there's an explainer card in there. So say you've got a student arriving and you're finishing with your previous student, you can just give them the cards with the explainer card on top, and they can then start getting to work with getting the cards out and relevant so that when you begin the session, the contracting has already started and you can already pick up on some key information and get to know them, basically. So here's an example invoice. If someone were to take the newsletter, both the tutor programs and the Apprenticeship Academy, they would be looking at £1,050 plus VAT. And this slide just shows you how that particular package would support Gatsby benchmarks. So I've touched on only the ones that are relevant there, but as you can see, we're working across quite a number of them. And then if we added our guidance in there as well, we'd also be beating Gatsby benchmark 8. So we're a really well-rounded organisation in terms of what we offer and ensuring we're hitting a lot of the benchmarks wherever possible, based on the challenges we've experienced and the solutions that we found to those challenges. Here are some quotes. So the first one is from Kelly, who's the head of careers at Queen Anne's, about the newsletter. The second one is from Ariana, a student that took part, I think, 2 years ago now. She's a year 13 student in the Apprenticeship Academy. Then the third one is from Donna, talking about one of our apprentices that has been working with her and recommending our services, basically. So a couple of people from different perspectives and how they found working with us. And then if you're thinking that all sounds great, but I've got no budget or I'm not ready to invest, here are some of the things that you can access for free. So I post a lot on LinkedIn, so please feel free to follow and connect with me on there. Subscribe to our newsletter. We've got over 1,200 people subscribed to that now. Everything I see across the internet, which is a lot because I spend a lot of time out and about, is all in that newsletter. So I take it all, send it out to new careers professionals. It saves you time and it makes sure your inbox is getting the most important things that's happening in our world. We also have a free 2025-26 academic calendar with all the dates listed in it that you need to know from a careers perspective. Last year, over 1,000 people downloaded it. I think we're on like 800 already, and it only came out a few weeks ago. So it is a popular resource. Use it, take it. The whole idea behind that was that we were all doing the same thing. It made no sense. So I was like, right, I'm going to do it once, give it to the world, and then we've all saved a bit of time. And then lastly, we have an online platform called the Careers Circle. It's exclusively for careers professionals, so there's no sort of marketing people from different organisations on there. And the same rule applies to me, so I never market any of our products in there. The whole purpose of the community is to connect, to collaborate, to share, and to develop our own careers. And that platform was sponsored by UCAS. So they sponsored the initial development, and they've just confirmed that they are going to continue their sponsorship for 2025-26, which I am so thankful for, because it means we can continue to do our community events, our training events, and keep the system running, because it's been fabulous so far. Bit more information about the Career Circle. So this lady here is Sharon. She's a new careers professional at her school, and she's just given a little quote there to share with you. And I thought it was lovely about how she's found her people. So she's found her community. She comes to our virtual coffees every week. That's one of our virtual coffees there. Sometimes there's 6 of us, sometimes there's 20 of us, and everything in between. Everyone is very, very welcome to attend those sessions. They're on a Friday morning from 9 until 9:30. you just got to click this button, or if you go to our website, it says the career circle at the top, so just hit that one. And that is it for me. That was a flying whistle stop tour. That email address, contact@thecareerspeople, comes straight through to me. So please send me any questions. If you want to book a call, you can also email me there. I could talk careers all day long, so I would absolutely welcome a call with any of you. And if you choose to work with us, I would absolutely love to work with as many schools and as many young people as possible, with the aim that the more schools we're working with, the more young people we're helping. Thank you so much. Take care, and if you're watching this before the summer, have a fantastic summer. If you're watching it after, have a fantastic academic year.